Howdy YouTube, Elite Legionario here, bringing you the perspective of the Carthaginian general as he looks down over the harbour here in the valley at the Spartan army that opposes him. So we're moving forward here. Obviously I'm Carthage, like I said, and my army consists of, on the far left, I have three sacred bands, and I got 3 late Carthaginian hoplites. I have, look at this, 3 mercenary Balearic slingers, and what the? Oh, a bit of a glitch. And I got 4 units of Carthaginian cavalry and 2 Libyan infantry. Wow, this is like the hopping, look at this, the battlefield, well, look at that, it's the hopping zone. Let's watch it, glitchy hop, let's see. Hop goes the Libyan spearman, that is funny. I have to be honest though, Carthage is an underpowered faction again, in my opinion. I'm disappointed in it, particularly its cavalry. If we look at these stats, not very great. Oh, they're okay, but there are a lot of better stuff. And you're going to see in this fight, these citizen cavalry of Sparta are going to really give me a run for my money, and that's rubbish, because Sparta was renowned for having very poor quality cavalry, and Carthage was renowned for having very good quality cavalry. So that is a very piece of historical bad accuracy, basically. So anyway, the fight opens up with some sling throwing, basically, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 Helot archers. He's got 2 Spartan pikemen. Let's see, 2 Spartan hoplites, 4 Spartan hoplites, and in the reserve he's got 3 Periakoi hoplites, and he's got like 4 citizen cavalry. So I'm going to oblique here because I know that Spartan, at least I figured Spartans would be extremely strong, so I'd probably lose going head on, but I figure if I go up to a nice height here, we both get the same idea though, because we want to use this height here, and he's going to try and cut me off. I'm going to see my cavalry round, and I'm going to try and encircle his line here, but here's his citizen cavalry. Now if we look at the citizen cavalry, it's not actually quite as good as my guys, but if you see the fight I have with them, you'll realise my frustration in this fight. So my Balearic slingers do a great job. I rout 2 of his archers here. And he's trying to outflank me with these Periakoi pikemen. So if we go over here, the Sacred Band have engaged already with his just regular hoplite there. And I am in phalanx, and I don't think he got into phalanx, which does mean I have a much better chance in this fight now. But however, he is going to attempt to outflank me. As you can see, there's some Spartan shields coming in over the side there, although I haven't gotten around behind them just yet. At this stage, the cavalry fight is about to begin, so let's get some good charges. Now I've got a couple of good upgrades on these guys, so I figure I should easily win this fight. And I do manage to get a charge as well, so I get a good charge in. And I was thinking these Spartan cavalry, there should be no match for my Carthaginian cavalry at all, whatsoever. He does bring in some infantry units which could change the effects, but I bring in some Libyan infantrymen to stop them from actually getting into the fight. And there's some nice pea throwing in there. So I managed to get into these Spartans here. It's looking very, very beautiful. So that stopped his infantry interfering basically with this fight. Take it back. These guys got stuck on, looks like one of these hoplites got in. But one of my Libyan spearmen has marked them anyway. But if we look over here, my cavalry is just getting owned. This is a 2-for-2, no infantry interference, and I'm losing this. And like not losing it, but like just losing it. I'm really losing it. Over here though, thank God I managed to win. I pulled one of my cavalry units around, and I'm going to get a good hammer and anvil in here, I hope. I'm trying to. Here we go. So here's a good hammer and anvil here. And I encircle that part of the Spartan line. However, my general's right there rallying as well. And I am winning. Sacred Band are very good still, that's great. The late Carthaginian hoplites are not the greatest, they're average, but I do manage to get an outflanking force of them. So I have outflanked my opponent here as well. But it's in the cavalry fight. As you can see, his cavalry, look at these cavalry, looks like he had the heroes of Sparta, I didn't see that. But if we look at these cavalry, look, 40 out of 60, they lost only a third of their strength, and my complete cavalry corps routed against Spartan cavalry. And I had infantry support stopping his infantry as well. I was really annoyed by this because this is not right, because Carthage was renowned for good cavalry. It always had good cavalry, at least in its high days. Sparta did not. And the same thing goes on up here. My infantry destroy his, but that's probably because I've outflanked him. But I very quickly win the infantry fight up on the top here, and I'm rallying really consistently with my generals. So fortunately I won this fight, otherwise I would have been in deep trouble. Now Sparta probably realistically, they probably should be better than Carthage at this, but I should definitely be better than him at cavalry. So I'm unable to save my slingers here. I'm trying to, but I'm not able to. Fortunately though, I have effectively done a pretty decent job in the infantry fight up here. So just get some nice shots off though. And I mean, it really is fun getting close like this. I love it. It's so much fun. I'm just pushing into these Spartans here. Let's check this dude out here. What's he up to? With him all in the shield. So, and fortunately I managed to win in an area which gives me better terrain, but with the loss of cavalry and the fact that he still has some reasonably okay numbers of infantry and missile units, I was concerned. It's slightly in my favour, but only ever so slightly. And I think one of my cavalry units survived, but yeah, one of them, that was the one I pulled off. But I shouldn't have lost that cavalry fight, at least the one where there was no infantry interference, because the Spartan cavalry was some of the worst cavalry. It really was, and I was pretty annoyed by this. And I think overall, it's not fair that, here's some more close-ups for you guys, it's not fair that Carthage has been dismantled again. What I mean by that is, in original Rome, it didn't have any good missiles. Now, it's got them now, but, an area where it should be very good, it's cavalry. Take Carthage versus Rome, for instance. Carthage should always have better cavalry than Rome. Unless you sort of put a late Roman Empire against Carthage, which is very unlikely to have ever happened. So the point I'm saying is that they wanted to go for historical accuracy, and yet these armies are not historically accurate, or some of them are and some of them aren't. So let's get some more close-ups of these Sacred Band hoplites just chasing down the units. Here's some of these, I think these are the heroes of Sparta unit? No, they're the Pyrrhoi. So as you can see, he's got some good guys here, but they are pretty thinned out. More so than my guys are, so it's okay. His heroes of Sparta is a general unit. So here they're going to charge each other. But my Sacred Band are more than a match there. They are a very, very good unit still. And I'm glad they're still around. I always liked them in the original. Over here he's trying to outflank me, but I did leave a reserve of late Carthaginian hoplites to hopefully offer some protection from outflanking procedure. And I got my general right up in the flank there. So fortunately, my pikes do a very good job, which was a bit surprising. I was sure that the Sacred Band would be okay, but the late Carthaginian hoplites I thought would be outclassed by the Spartan one, so I'm pretty sure my opponent was probably annoyed by that. So it was kind of strange in that he won a cavalry fight that would realistically never happen that way, and I probably, infantry-wise, Carthage did some good stuff. But I mean, in terms of phalanxes, or at least the original classical phalanxes, Spartan stuff was pretty much supreme. Let's get some more close-ups, and I managed to rout the end over there. However, he's going to try and hammer and anvil me here, and I think I turn around in time. I think I do. Because I just turn around in time to face the citizen cavalry with my Sacred Band, so that should put them out of action. But as you see, when I'm looking at that death field there, I did take a pretty brutal charge there. But I did manage to stop that cavalry from being a huge problem, and it does allow me to rout the cavalry unit. So I am going to win this fight, but I'm not without complaints about the situation. So here's his heroes of Sparta. Okay, that wasn't what I clicked on. There, click on Heroes of Sparta. What's it doing that for? Sorry guys, I can't click on it. Oh, it ended anyway. So yeah, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. I enjoyed it. I think the only thing that saved me is the fact that I got my guys into phalanx sooner, and I had slightly good terrain up here, and that changed it. And then I came downhill, I had the same terrain. The cavalry fight, the one over here where there was one of his pikes in, although I got a Libyan swordsman in to block it. That was okay. He could potentially have won that, but the ones where there was 2 Carthaginian cavalry versus 2 citizenry cavalry, I can't understand it. I can't. Like, citizen cavalry is actually pretty decent, but what I'm thinking is, why does Sparta have a decent cavalry unit? It wasn't known to ever use good cavalry, and Carthage. Some of Carthage's cavalry was really excellent cavalry, and I was a bit annoyed with that. So it wasn't exactly the historical accuracy thing I was seeing there. But it was a fun game. And to be honest though, I do think Carthage is underpowered. Apart from Sacred Band, there's not really any... And Libyan Swordsmen, I find Libyan infantry I use there, I've had a lot of success with them. Apart from those 2 units, and elephants, Carthage is just not that great. I think its navy's pretty good though. I haven't tried a naval battle yet, actually. I should do that. But I was disappointed in Carthage. It wasn't as powerful as I'd hoped it would be, especially cavalry-wise. But if we look at these units here, my Carthaginian cavalry, I mean, they didn't do very well at all. But my Sacred Bands did very well. They did a very good job indeed. Libyan infantry actually did quite good as well, but the Sacred Band carried that fight. And the Carthaginian hoplites, they did good, probably because I got them into good positioning and I got an outflanking procedure with them, but otherwise they would have lost to those Spartans because they're not as good. But anyway, good game to my opponent. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you soon next time.